And now I invite Mr. Santosh Kumar Rungta, civil society representative from the World Blind Union, to deliver his statement.
Mr. President, His Excellency, Honorable Secretary General UN, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and civil society colleagues. I am deeply honored to speak on behalf of civil society when we commemorate the 20th anniversary of Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Our landmark convention transformed disability from an issue of charity into a matter of human rights, dignity, equality, and justice. It is a movement not only for celebration, but also for reflection. Over the past 2 decades, the Convention has driven significant progress through disability-specific laws, policies, institutions, and programs. However, the disability-specific policies and programs have yet to be integrated into mainstream legislation, policies, and protocols regulating built infrastructure, communication system, public services, resulting into continued discrimination and exclusion. Civil society highlighted during yesterday's roundtable that as a result of policy gaps, weak implementation, enforcement, monitoring, and inadequate budgetary support, we still continue to face inaccessible infrastructure, involuntary committal, compulsory treatment, deprivation of legal capacity, institutionalization, and denial of basic services. Too many persons with disabilities are still excluded from schools, workplaces, transport systems, healthcare, digital platforms, justice mechanisms, and decision-making processes. Women and indigenous persons with disabilities continue to face exploitation, abuse, and violence. Excellencies, accessibility remains one of the most essential foundations for inclusion, equality, and participation. Yet, too often, it is treated as optional rather than recognized as a fundamental human right. At a time of increasing armed conflicts, humanitarian crisis, and natural disaster, emergency policies and response systems still fail to incorporate accessibility requirements, leaving persons with disabilities among the most vulnerable. Accessibility must therefore be comprehensive, intersectional, and responsive to diversity. For blind and deafblind persons, Braille literacy remains indispensable for education, employment, and independent living. For deaf persons require accessible communication systems, including options for sign language and captioning. Persons with intellectual disabilities require support systems that respect autonomy, dignity, legal capacity, and community inclusion. Persons with psychosocial disabilities require an end to stigma and lack of recognition of equal legal personhood. While technology has created new opportunities, the digital divide is becoming a new form of exclusion. We must also recognize that technology is important, but cannot replace human support systems. Growing economic pressures are also shifting priorities away from social inclusion toward economic viability, making accessible infrastructure, assistive technologies, inclusive education, and support services unaffordable or unavailable for many persons with disabilities. Civil society also noted with concern the impact of austerity measures in UN systems as a part of UN reforms, which may result into weakening the process of inclusion at UN level. We therefore urge member states to take the following decisive action. First, integrate accessibility, reasonable accommodation, non-discrimination, and universal design into all laws, policies, infrastructure, technology, and mainstream services. Second, repeal or amend all laws, policies, and practices that deny legal capacity or permit involuntary committal, compulsory treatment, and institutionalization of persons with disabilities. Third, allocate adequate financial resources to ensure accessibility and support systems without imposing additional burden on persons with disabilities. Fourth, strengthen social protection system and community-based support services necessary for independent living and full participation in society. Fifth, ensure the meaningful social political participation and their representation at all levels of governance. Sixth, strengthen laws and policies to protect women, children, indigenous persons, refugees, older persons, persons with psychosocial disabilities, and persons with intellectual disabilities from violence, abuse, exploitation, and exclusion. And finally, ensure effective participation and leadership of organizations of persons with disabilities in the development, implementation, and monitoring of all laws, policies, and programs. Excellencies, as we enter the third decade of the Convention, let us move beyond symbolic commitments towards transformative implementation. Let us build society where accessibility is embedded by design, where inclusion is recognized not as charity but as justice, and where persons with disabilities are respected as equal citizens and valued contributors to the society. The true measure of our commitment will not be the declarations we adopt here, but whether persons with disabilities everywhere can live independently, participate equally, and enjoy their rights with dignity, freedom, and safety. Let this conference renew our collective resolve to create a world where no person with disability remains invisible, unheard, excluded, or left behind in the implementation of 2030 Development Agenda. Thank you very much.